So welcome to all of you to the physics online class. So I am Shweta Kalur here. Dear students, today we are going to start the second, that is the next chapter of the physics second PUC, wave optics. In the previous classes we discussed the chapter ray optics and the optical instruments. There we studied completely about how the light behave so in a straight line and how it shows the phenomenon such as reflection and the refraction, right? And there especially we talked about the refraction through the spherical surfaces, then next about the lenses, and next about the prism, right? And also we discussed how a composite ray of the light enter into the prism and it can disperse, the absorb, the spectrum is obtained and how the phenomenon is taking place, and next the formation of the rainbow, and in that primary and secondary rainbows will be there, that all the points we covered. Later at the end we also discussed how the optical instruments are working, and it is completely based on the refraction and the reflection of the light. And if only the lenses and the prisms are used, there the refraction of light taking place. If the mirrors are used as the medium or the reflector, then the phenomena such as the reflection of the light is taking place, right? Then today let us start the new chapter, that is the wave optics. The next chapter, that is the chapter 10 for the second PUC, wave optics. And this chapter carries a total weightage of marks 8. We are going to get 8 marks from this chapter. Then when we started the chapter ray optics, there the first point I discussed, that is optics. What do you mean by optics? It is the branch of the physics which deals with the behavior, the properties and the phenomena of the light. So how the light is behaving when it enters into the medium and how it changes the direction, all the phenomena related to the light we are discussing there, right? And basically in the optics again we classified into two types. One is the ray optics, that also called as the geometrical optics. The second one is the wave optics. Then we discussed the ray, leave that point, come to the point wave optics. What is a wave optics? The branch of the optics which deals with the study of the light by considering the wave theory or by considering wave nature of the light. In order to study wave optics, we have to consider that the light is in the form of the wave only. Which form? Wave form. So under this chapter mainly we are focusing on the three different phenomena. What are those means? One is the interference of the light, next one is the diffraction, and next one is the polarization, right? The wave optics means what? It is the branch of the optics which deals with the phenomena such as interference, diffraction and the polarization of the light by considering light as a wave, okay? Then here we need to study the interference of the light. Interference, next one diffraction and polarization. Okay. So earlier we used to study all these three phenomena related to the wave optics, but for this year the polarization concept is skipped. Only we need to study what is the interference of the light, its explanation and the conditions, how the light is undergoing the interference, and next the diffraction of the light, how the light is bending around the edges of the obstacle, and there the conditions, all the things. Alright. So then before going to this concept, we need to study the theory of the light. That means how the study of the wave optics started in the earlier. Actually, in the first time when they start to study about the wave optics, Isaac Newton, the great scientist Isaac Newton, considered that the light is a minute particle. Light consists minute colored particles. He says it is colored particle, and according to his theory, he mentioned the Newton's corpuscular theory. What theory he mentioned? Newton's corpuscular theory. Newton's corpuscular theory. What is the meaning of corpuscles? Corpuscles are nothing but these are the colored particles. That is why in his theory the Newton stated or given that the light consists of minute colored particles. They are called corpuscles. They are called as the corpuscles. And here actually in his theory Newton stated that the speed of the light is higher in the denser medium, lower in the rarer medium. Then can you think, is it right? Right? So no, because you know that the speed of the light is increasing in the rarer medium than in the denser medium. So therefore, when Newton stated that point, it was experimentally not proved. That is why the theory of the Newton's corpuscle theory was discarded there. Okay. Then after this what happens? The next scientist is Huygens. Huygens, he given the wave theory of the light. The next scientist, so who introduced the wave theory? So it is called Huygens wave theory of the light. Wave theory of the light. According to the Huygens, he stated that light, it is moving in the form of the mechanical wave in the hypothetical medium called ether. So according to the Huygens wave theory, what he stated in his theory means light can travel in the form of mechanical wave, but in which medium it is moving? It is moving in the hypothetical medium called as ether. Hypothetical means what? It is an imaginary medium, isn't it? So then when they started using this the theory, then the theory was failed to prove experimentally, because they came to know that the hypothetical medium what the Huygens used in his theory was not present everywhere in the nature. That is just an assumption. So only here the Huygens wave theory also cancelled, right? But the Huygens wave theory given one good point, that the speed of the light is maximum or it is higher in the rarer medium than in the denser medium. But see, before this Newton stated that the speed of the light is higher in the denser medium, isn't it? So then here that point was proved, but the existence of the ether, the hypothetical medium ether, was not proved experimentally here. So this Huygens wave theory also cancelled. Okay. So then next moved to the Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. Yes. Then what the Maxwell says here? The next scientist who is giving the theory of light is Maxwell. Okay. So what he given? electromagnetic theory. Then here only we have the point what he discussed in his theory. According to the Maxwell, light is in the form of the electromagnetic wave. What he considered in his theory, light is traveling in the form of the electromagnetic wave, that is the changing electromagnetic wave. If the electric field is changing with respect to the time, that gives the magnetic field. If the magnetic field is changing with respect to the time, then electric field is produced. In this sense, Maxwell shown that light can travel in the form of the electromagnetic wave. Okay? So, hence the name Maxwell's electromagnetic theory of the light. Okay? And but this theory does not, and one more point here, Newton's corpuscle theory was able to explain the phenomena such as reflection and refraction. And here also in the Huygens wave theory, we can study the phenomena such as reflection, refraction and even interference also, because Huygens wave theory considered that the light is in the form of the wave. Okay? So, interference was also discussed, but here the polarization of the light was not explained. Polarization of the light was not explained. So, the next theory they will move, that is Maxwell electromagnetic theory. But from this theory also, so they given the phenomena such as interference, diffraction and polarization. All the 3 points or the phenomenon was explained by the Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. But next thing is, again the light is considered to be, it is in the form of the particle. That means the particle nature of the light was not explained by the Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. Then who will come next? The Max Planck and the Einstein. The next scientist who will explain is Max Planck and Einstein. They both explain the photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect of the light. Right? So, according to their theory, what they considered, light is in the form of the photon, or it is a packet of energy, or it is also called quanta, that means packet of energy. So, according to the Max Planck and the Einstein, light is not a continuous ray, it consists of discrete packets of the energy. That means that discrete packets of energy only, we call them as the quanta or energy packets. When such a number discrete packets of the energies are continued, then what happened? There is a formation of the light ray is taking place. So, this theory was used to explain the photoelectric effect such as the Compton effect, photoelectric effect, that everything was explained with the help of the Max Planck Einstein's photoelectric effect. But by using this theory, we can't explain the phenomena such as the interference, diffraction and polarization. This is based on the wave theory only. And what the Compton effect, black body radiation and the photoelectric effect is there we consider that the light is in the form of the particle. Remember dear students, here in the Huygens wave theory and electromagnetic wave theory, we considered light is in the form of the wave, isn't it? And here we are considering light is in the form of the particle. Then by studying this theory, it is a very clear concept that light sometimes behave as a wave and sometimes it behave as a particle, isn't it? Therefore, finally the scientist called de Broglie, he introduced the dual nature of the light. That means, according to his theory, he given that light sometimes behave as a particle and sometimes it behave as a wave. So, therefore, if you add both the nature, light behave like a dual. That means, the two nature that is having, one is particle, one is a wave nature. Is that clear? Yes. So, de Broglie explained finally the dual nature. De Broglie, the scientist called de Broglie, given dual nature of the light. Nature of light. Like this, when the study of the light started, the different theories were introduced in the beginning, and from that whichever phenomena were required, so accordingly that only we used the theories. So, here first we are using, as I told, interference and diffraction was explained by Huygens wave theory. Therefore, first we use the Huygens wave theory. There we will study what is the meaning of the wavefront, how many types of wavefronts are there, and what the Huygens principle states, that we need to understand, right. So, then let us move to the next point. Yes. So, that is Huygens, or before going to that wavefront, we need to study wavefront. Yes, sir. Wavefront. So, what is a wavefront here? Wavefront. Here only we have the definition, wave which is moving front. So, that means here assume here is the source of the light. Here is the source of the light, and when the source of the light emitting the light rays, that light ray first will come in the form of the wave like this, and see every point on this ray or that light is considered to be the source of the secondary waves. And you can see here the light wave is obtained by taking locus of all the points, isn't it? So, it is the locus of all the points which are oscillating with the same phase. Remember, dear student, wave front means it has the same phase. This type of questions may be asked in your competitive also. What is the wavefront? Which quantity remains constant in the wavefront? The phase which remains the constant. Okay. So, then next one, wavefront means, am I clear? So, the wave, that means it is wavefront is the locus of all the points which are oscillating with the same phase, which have to oscillate. One good example I can take, during the march fast, all are stepping into the same. If they order left, all will move into the left leg only. If they order right, then right. So, that is called as the same phase. All the particles of the medium or the light, they vibrate with the same phase. Okay. So, that is a good example for the wavefront. And in this wavefront, mainly three types we are going to find. The first one is the types of wavefront. The first one is the spherical wavefront, spherical, and the second one is cylindrical wavefront. And the next one is the plane wavefront, plane wavefront. Yes. So, then let us know what is a spherical wavefront. Simple. A wavefront which is produced by the point object. If we have a point object, the waves which are coming out of that they are considered to be the spherical wavefronts. Okay. The spherical wavefront which is formed by the point object. The good example is a bulb. Have you seen bulb in your home? That is so shape of that bulb is like a round. Round means it is like a point shape, isn't it? So that from that point bulb, what the waves, the light waves are coming out, we call them as the spherical wavefront. And another natural example is the sunlight. The waves which are coming from the sun, they are also considered to be the spherical wavefront, because sun is acting like a point, isn't it? From that, whatever the waves are coming out, they are taken as the spherical wavefronts. Am I clear? Right. Then moving to the next one, what are cylindrical wavefronts? Cylindrical means here the object should be in the form of a slit or the linear size. The good example is here only tube light you can see, right? So it is having a linear shape. The object which has the linear shape, the light rays coming from that or the wavefronts coming from the linear object, we call them as the cylindrical waves or cylindrical wavefronts, right? And you can take the example of this door also. The door is acting like a slit or the linear object. So the rays which are entering from that slit or that door, that also taken as the cylindrical wavefronts. And even from the windows also, whatever the waves are coming inside to the room, they all are acting like a cylindrical wavefronts. Okay? Yes. Then moving to the plane wavefront. Plane means they are plane in a shape. Actually, plane wavefronts are the small part of the spherical wavefront when they are coming from infinite distance. See dear students, sometime there may be a twist question such as, what is the nature of the wavefront? What is the nature of the wavefront coming from sun and reaching the earth surface? Coming from sun reaching the earth surface. See, you know that sun is acting like a point object. The wavefronts coming from the sun, as you know, it is spherical. But when they are reaching to the earth surface here, the distance we consider is a very large distance. And if you take the small portion of this wavefront, when it reaches to the earth, it appears to be planar or plane in a nature. Okay? Therefore, the wavefronts coming from sun and reaching the earth are plane wavefronts only. Therefore, we take that if you take the small portion of the spherical wavefront, that act like a plane wavefront. Okay? So, this is what the points we wanted to discuss about the wavefront. I hope dear students you understood. Let us recap all the points whatever we discussed. See, this is the wave optics. Mainly we are focusing here about the wave nature of the light, and under this chapter we study the main phenomena of the light, that are interference and the diffraction. As I told earlier, so here we were discussing polarization also, but this time it was taken from, deleted from your portion. We are going with only the interference and diffraction, right? Then first, in order to understand the wave optics, different scientists had given different theories. So then first the Newton given his theory, that is Newton corpuscular theory. According to this theory, light consists of minute colored particles, and he given that the light, the speed of the light is higher in the denser medium than in the rarer medium, but it was not proved experimentally. So this theory was discarded or cancelled. Okay? But in this theory we studied the reflection and the refraction. Then next move to the Huygens wave theory. According to the Huygens wave theory, the light moving in the form of mechanical wave, but the wave that is moving in the hypothetical medium called ether, but the presence or the existence of the ether in the nature was not done experimentally. That is why this theory was also discarded. But the wave theory of the light explained the interference of the light and the diffraction, but here the polarization was not explained. That is why the next scientist explained the Maxwell, that is electromagnetic wave theory. Here we consider that the light consists of changing electric and magnetic field which are perpendicular to each other. So, the light travels in the form of the electromagnetic wave. Here, so it was able to explain the phenomena interference, diffraction and polarization, but when we come to the point of photoelectric effect, black body radiation, Compton effect, that was not explained by Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. Hence, the next theory was introduced, that is Max Planck's Einstein's photoelectric theory. In this theory, they considered that light is in the form of the photon or the packet of energy. So, it can show the photoelectric effect, Compton effect, right. And then by using the, so by these last two theories, we came to know that light sometime behave as a wave, sometime as a particle, hence it shows the dual nature that was explained by de Broglie, right. Then we started the chapter with the definition of wavefront. Wavefront, that means what? Wavefront, it is a locus of all the points which are vibrating or oscillating with the same phase. Remember, in the wavefront the phase remains the same for all the particles. If all particles in the medium are showing the up motion, all will be in up. Down means down. So, like up and down means all the particles are possessing the same phase in the wavefront, right. So, then next one, the types of the wavefronts. Depending on the shape of the sources, we define the spherical, cylindrical and plane wavefront. Spherical wavefront is obtained if the source is a point shape or point size. So, the good example is bulb, the light or the wavefront coming from the round shaped bulb, that are spherical, or the wavefronts coming from the sun are taken as a spherical. The next one, cylindrical. If the source of the light is linear or it is slit type, then the waves are taken cylindrical, and plane wavefront are the part of the spherical wavefront taken from infinite distance, right. I hope you understood. In the next video, let us talk about Huygens wave principle, right. Thank you for watching the video.